Hello and welcome back guys to the channel. So this is from Pips FX. We're back in business. So in this video I'll be generally talking about how to spot reversals. How can you see these shifts in market structure and knowing that the market is reversing from either an uptrend to a downtrend or a downtrend to an uptrend. But without further ado guys, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell button. Now let's dive into it. Right, so on my charts here I have two tabs of gold. So the first one is this one with these drawings in here all over the place, right? So this was my monthly trading of gold, how I analyzed it and how I took my positions. Of course I have kept the record, but I and I did speak about this in the gold monthly breakdown video, but let's not talk about that right now. So I'm gonna be showing you what criteria did I use to apply in this chart here to make it look like this, but I'm not gonna use this chart, right? I'm gonna use this clear chart. So let's get into it. So we had this uptrend, I mean the creation of these highs, right, from this to this. So my mouse is just all over the place. So let's use the pathway. So we had this, right, the creation of highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows and highs, right? But all of a sudden we just okay, let me delete this. So we just let me make this a little bit lighter. Yeah, I think it's visible. Yes, it is. So when we created this high right here, price the bullish momentum in price had dropped, right? So instead of price going bullish, it's starting going bearish, right? And what shows you that price started going bearish? Right now, this is how to spot that reversal. You want to see the break of that structure, right? A clear structural low, right? And if we zoom into this, where is our structural low, right? So if we zoom into this, you will find that where's our structural low, guys? In here, you'll find that this was the structural low. Let me just use this, right? So this low right here is the one that created this high here, right? So the break of this low initiates a move that shows you a decline in price momentum to go bullish, because if price was going bullish, then it will just come mitigate whatever's in here, and price will just come mitigate and just collect this momentum and go where? Bullish, right? Boom. So that was the move that would have occurred in the uptrend. Excuse my drawings, they're not really that good. So this is what would have happened in an uptrend, right? But the minute this structural low right here is broken, this structural low right here, the minute this low is broken, price tells us like, okay, I'm not going bullish this time, I'm going bearish, right? So we then forget the whole bullish idea, right? So this bullish idea is cancelled. We don't look for breaks in this high anymore, right? Because this low is already broken, meaning that price is now creating lower highs and lower lows instead of higher highs and higher lows, right? So let me clear this bunch of crap here. Okay, let me do it this side. Boom. Right, so this crap right here doesn't matter. What matters now is that this low is broken. So we start to look for potential areas where price would actually retrace before making that continuation, right? Because in reversals we have things like this, right? So if the market was going, okay, let me use this pathway, right? If the market was going bullish in this sort of manner, right, in this sort of manner, and it reaches a time where it starts going where? Bearish, right? So in the retracement, we have two types of retracements, right? It can either make the deep retracement, boom, and then continue where? Lower, right? Or, right, so that was the first idea. Or price can just do this if it was going bullish. So this is all the bullishness, right? And then it goes where? So there, and then boom, bearish, right? So it can either take the first idea of coming where, okay, mouse is all over the place again. So after the creation of this low, right? So boom, boom. So we have this break here, and okay, we're not actually looking for pair, but after this break here, what we are looking for is a retracement in price. Now, notice something, right? Price can either retrace it in two areas. The first area is the dip pullback towards whatever supply zone is lying above there. Or the second pullback, it can be just literally near near the break of this, where the continuation blocks lie, right? If you don't know what that means, it's the hidden order blocks. And if you don't know what the hidden order blocks or hidden supply and demand zones are, then you should go back and watch the hidden order blocks and supply and demand video. So let's continue, guys. So price can either do one of these things, right? A, take a retracement from here all the way to the original zone out there, and then do what? Continue bullish, I mean bearish, right? So this is the first idea. And the second idea is that price can just do this, right? So let's delete that. Price can just do a minimal retracement and then do what? Continue. Why is this so, right? So why does price take this very little pullbacks in these reversal areas, right? So price does this because of momentum, right? If there is a very high momentum shift, then price can't make a deep pullback, because if it's a chart like this that was going bullish all the way here and then started going bearish, right? The momentum, the bearish momentum that was used to break this low was very high for the bulls to take price all the way up here for the retracement, and thus they just test the continuation blocks here to fill in whatever orders that the big boys had left behind and take the market bullish. Because if the market is showing you a bearish sentiment that, okay, this market is going bearish, the chances of it going bullish to a very deep pullback is very low than just making a slight pullback and then the continuation. But you will get the deep pullback after this continuation move has been tested, right? So price comes, breaks, test the continuation pattern, and then boom, break, deep pullback, break, deep pullback, or slight pullbacks, right? So nothing is assured here. Nothing is assured. You just have to do a critical analysis of the situation. So let's go back to our chart right now. So what do we see, right? So price has made the high, and then after creation of this high, price decides, okay, we're going bearish, right? Price break structure, creates this low, and look at where does it test, right? Okay, so let's leave you there. Notice what we have is this original. We have the original zone, and then we have what? A continuation zone right here. Boom. So, as I said before, due to very strong bearish momentum, price was unable to make a very deep pullback towards the original zone or even the intermediary zone, this one, right? Price didn't come here or here. It just tested the continuation pattern and boom. Price went lower. Price went bearish. This is because that price had already shown a bearish sentiment here, and that bearish sentiment was too strong for the bulls to take price into a deep pullback. And so that, lo and behold, price just went lower. Now, as I did say before, that if price breaks here and tests and makes this slight pullback and breaks again, right? So let's look at it. So price comes, breaks, right? And after the break, let's take the break, this over right here. Okay, so boom. So your first entry was here, right? And with lower time frame confirmation, which is something that I've not yet spoken about, but it is in my intentions to speak about it when the right time comes. So just stay with us, guys. Just stay with us. So the content will be dropped, and I think very soon enough. You just need to hold their patience for a little longer. So price comes here, and in the using the lower time frame confirmation, I did have a trade right about here, right? So at this test here, price went, I didn't get an entry here, so it it didn't actually break, but in the lower time frames, this was a break of structure. So after this break of structure in the lower time frames, I waited for the pullback, right? So the same thing that I used here, right? The rules are always the same, right? The rules are always the same, right? So what we wait for is a break of structure, right? Pull back to where? To an S&D zone, and then take the continuation higher. So this is how I have been, and I always will be taking my entries. So boom. So the break of structure, the test to the zone, and your entry. Okay, let's not talk about that, right? Okay, so by using that criteria, I then got an entry here off of this zone right here, right? So this zone here gives me a very beautiful entry. Boom, so my entry was like that. Let's just take it there. So I'm just gonna be very theoretical with this. I won't get deep. I just want to make the video short, and I was targeting this low here, right? So that was my trade, targeting this low here as my first partial. Boom. So yeah, so that was my first trade, right? And so let's zoom in a bit. Let's zoom out and to make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so boom. So that was my first trade, right? And I was just waiting, right? So I mean, the biggest part of a trader is waiting, right? You gotta have that patience. So I was just waiting for another right opportunity, right? So what we see here is another break, right? So this structural low here has been broken. This low here, this low has been broken. Excuse my trading, I mean shit, my drawing. There, right? So that low has been broken, and after the break of that low, I was looking for a retest, right? And there was an opportunity here that I didn't take. Why? Because this was tricky, right? I myself, I like trading visible price action, and all of this nonsense, this creepy shit here, just it got me rocking, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave this. And lo and behold, this was just a liquidity setup, right? So this swing high point here. Okay, let's use the highlighter, and boom. So this swing high point was just a liquidity engineering by smart money, right? And the real zone was this one. This was the okay, let's delete that and try this again. My mouse is shaky once more. So boom. So that was the right zone, right? Boom. So there we had this zone that was merely tested, and that price action just got me mind rocking. Now it's like, no, I'm not trading this. So I left this here, and lo and behold, price just look at what price did, right? Okay, so price did break the structural low here. So the break of this structure here got me wondering, okay, so where is this pullback going, right? And I saw this, right? And I was like, okay, I have a really good zone here, and I have a swing high here. So what I was expecting was that if this is liquidity engineering, then there's going to be liquidity run by smart money, right? If they engineered liquidity here, they're going to run it before they continue. And that is exactly what happened, right? So it was just a tricky move like this, right? So price, okay, let's delete that. So price was like this, okay? Price went lower, it went a little bit high, and then it went low, right? And then it did something like this that it never broke this high, meaning that this is just liquidity engineering, and this move here is liquidity run of this engineered liquidity, and then this, right? So this is what is clearly visible to you guys right there. So this is exactly what happened, right? So boom. Okay, let me just put that back. Okay, so this was the liquidity run that I was talking about. There, price comes, smart money engineers this fake liquidity, goes down, runs it, grabs all that momentum to take all this move down. You see that this this bearish move here, it had a lot of momentum that if you check in between, there's literally no bullish candles in between here, right? It's just bearish candles, meaning that the momentum, the bearish momentum in this whole extension move here was massive. And that's just how smart money operates. So yeah, guys, if you want to get that knowledge, kindly DM us on Instagram at official Green Pips FX, at Howie's and at Loma FX, and we'll be happy, happy to receive you. So without further ado, guys, let's continue with the video. And after this happened, of course, with lower time frame confirmation, I did get an entry here. My stop loss is just above there, and I was targeting, let's put that back, I was targeting this low here, right? And of course, I do hold my trades for much longer than the highs or the lows, because this is just like my first partial place, and I had this going like all the way down there, so doesn't really matter. Let's just leave it as that, right? Okay, now with this thing here, we have another pattern set up for us, right? We have what? We have a breaker structure here, right? So price has broken structure. And after the breaker structure, you start wondering, okay, so where is this price going, right? Once price breaks structure, it's going to make a pullback. Is this going to be a slight pullback, or is this going to be a deep pullback? And we don't know that for sure. What we can do is come up with the best idea, with the best hypothesis to guess where price is going to go and how we're going to take it, right? Lo and behold, we did have this zone here, right? So this was a continuation zone right here. Boom. So we did have this continuation zone right here, and in the lower time frames, it's more visible than that, but I'm not going to dive all the way into there. So price comes to it, tests it, and leaves. See how this works, guys? It's as simple as that. The same thing that happens, the same thing that I've drawn out here is what's happening here, right? So we have this breaker structure here. Okay, that went a little bit off. So we have this break here. The break, the pullback to where? To a certain zone above here, a certain zone above here. And lo and behold, that's where we take our entries. Boom. So that's the entry, right? And boom. So this is how we do it. As simple as the drawings are, is as simple as this right here, but it's simple, but at the same time it's complex, right? Once you have that knowledge is when it's simple. But when you're new to this shit, it's way too crazy in the beginning, and it gets way too crazy as you dive deep into it. So let's continue the video, guys. So that was like the third entry, yeah, and boom. So the stop loss above the zone as usual, but stop losses are normally tighter because I do take them in the lower time frames, meaning that there's lesser pip counts and whatever. So this is just a map out for you guys. So boom, that was the other entry. So let's come to our structure, right? So where's the structure going? What structural plays do we see? We have a breaker structure here. If we have this break, then it means that we are going to be having a retest, right? Boom. So we have a structural break, and where is it testing? We do have a continuation thingy here, right? With that wick, and as I did say in the previous videos, guys, wicks themselves are their own supply and demand zones, and I think I will make a video about that, but let's not make any promises first. So boom, and that's another entry there. So yeah, I'm just showing you the same rules, how I apply them over and over again in a chart, right? Okay, so that was the bearish move, and the bearish move now is done because we do have okay, let's make this white and let's see what's happening here, right? So we do have another structural break here, but I didn't trade this because I did hold this trade all the way down there, and it took me out at break even because I had like taken almost 2 or 3 of my partial positions, and then this move here took me out at break even because I was looking to hold it to a bit lower position. But okay, let's not talk about that. Okay, so we had this break here, this break, that break, this one, right, and the test, and then price failed to break here, right? As you can see, there's no body candles closing about below this wick. So if price failed to break here, what's it doing, right? What is it doing? Lo and behold, price comes to break here. Boom. So price comes to break this lower high, and if a lower high is broken, it means that a higher high is formed, right? So price breaks the lower high and forms this higher high. boom. So we have shifted from this, what was a downtrend, to what is an uptrend, right? So we had this downtrend going, boom, boom, and boom, right? So we have this, we had a downtrend going, and now we have broken this high as well as this high. So now we are in a shift from an uptrend to a downtrend, and lo and behold, we do have a zone, right? An unmitigated zone that was just sitting there, and this is where I got that bullish entry, right? So this, I had the buy here with my stop loss just about below there, and as I said before, they are normally tighter because I take this in the lower time frames. But so boom, and when I took this, right, so this is the same criteria for reversals that we talk about, right? So reversals go like, okay, so this one is okay, so price was moving bearish, boom, 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 right? And now price is doing what? Price is breaking highs, right? A break, a test, a break, a test, a break. So okay, shit, so I deleted that. Okay, so we had price pushing like this, and now all of a sudden we have this, right? Boom, 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 boom. So there, right? And we have this break right here. With this break initiates the same thing that I said earlier, right? So price can either make a deep pullback to all the way here. Okay, that was not as planned. So a deep pullback to all the way down there, or just a slight pullback to somewhere up there. And this time price does make the deep pullback, right? So price breaks and we have the original zone down here, and price goes and tests that zone, right? So this is the same criteria that I talked about here, right? And only that in this scenario it did test the continuation zone and not the original zone. But in this scenario that we're having here, it tests the original zone and not the continuation zone. So I'm really happy because I got both of the example in just a single chart. This is really, it's really cool actually. And as you can see, I was targeting some highs in here. I was targeting this high as well as these highs here, this high and that high. So I had this drawn out somewhere like that. So it's still a running trade. So boom, yeah, as I said before, I want to keep this short. So yeah, so that's the bullish entry that we had. And if you miss this entry here, there's plenty of other opportunities, right? For example, on this instant here, okay, so let's take that there. And on this instance here, right, price breaks this high. This high is broken, and look at what price does, right? There's a continuation thing here, this continuation zone here, right? So price tests the continuation and then goes, it doesn't test the original zone down there. And this is exactly what I did say during the start of the video, that price can either make a deep pullback or a slight pullback, and that is we don't know that for sure, right? It depends on the momentum that price used to break that structural zone. So this is all on this video, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe if you haven't, turn that bell button on, and until the next one, guys.